Hey, good evening, everyone. Better late than never. What is up? My name is Sforzando, and I'm sort of jumping into the deep end on some Super Metroid Randomizer commentary. So I hope you guys are having a great night. I'm a huge fan of this game. This is literally my first foray into Super Metroid commentary. If you recognize my name or my voice, you may have heard me in Final Fantasy Randomizer stuff, but I have a great enjoyment for Super Metroid and for Super Metroid Randomizer. So this is going to be a great night for all of us. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for being patient with us as we get this plugged in. All right, so we're gonna have Pizza 34 going for Kraid. We'll try to get a Kraid quick kill here with a charge beam shot. He's got it. It's very stuff I wish I could do more competently, but that's great. So it looks like we've got Ice Beam already found, but no Wave. We've got Spazer in Kraid in various slots. Tosi's making his way over to Wrecked Ship. You will have to forgive me because I have not seen what has happened up to this point. But it looks like we've got Screw Attack, we've got an Ice. We've had Spazer in Post Kraid, we've got Super Missiles in, and you'll forgive me, I don't remember all of the names yet. I've played a good amount of this randomizer. Certainly no expert, but some of the names always elude me. So forgive me if I botch a thing or two here and there. It's going. So we've got some X-ray strats going on the bottom left corner of your screen there, showing us the Kraid Power Bomb's just a missile. All right, so here we go with Fantoon. Now, if I remember right, all of the Fantoon patterns are supposed to be the same across all of the competitors. I think that's one of the, if I remember right, that's one of the features of the randomizer that makes it a little more even for all of our players. So we've got Wave Beam and High Jump. That's going to be a great find. It looks like we do have, I remember now, we have our Charge Beam. So that is definitely one of the required items if you don't have boatloads of missiles and super. So we've got wave and charge found. That's pretty much gonna do. We've got ice beam, so all of our beams are taken care of by. Still need some suits, but it looks like our competitors are finding everything in pretty good places. So we've got Toasty coming out and Aratheta coming in. Sorry, I recognize Aratheta. If I remember right, that was the Prodigy Tournament semifinals that I had just watched. Some spring ball action going on here. We're going to go check the supers on the other side. Great little clip right there to knock that one out. There's our space jump. That'll help. It's not 100% required in a lot of this. I'm not 100% sure what the difficulty setting for this is, whether or not things like Lava Spark or Gravity Jump are required, but it's always good to find space there because that's going to help them get down to Lower Norfair once they find the Gravity Suit. And Aratheta gets that Fantoon down. No problem. Toasty taking a save. Sometimes these safety saves are helpful, especially if you don't know what's coming up. Like, oh, he's going to go check the energy tank in the water, so we'll go see what. So Aratheta is going to be very happy to find this space jump behind this wall here. Does not have screw attack yet. The wreck shipped E-Tank is the plasma beam. Great find. That's even, I don't know if our runners are going to go out of the way by and large for that one. Toasty certainly did and is rewarded. I don't know how many of our other runners are going to. Screw attacks at Gauntlet. Thank you so much. Pizza getting a save refill here. And Aratheta is going to take that save. Probably going to do the same thing to go get the wreck ship E-Tank item. Okay, Ari did not use the screw attack to get through that section like Toasty did. That's why I thought she may not have had it. I missed that. I was looking at another screen. So always one of the great things about running 4-player streams is there's so much going on. I did miss Toasty had died there. Yes, Plasma is absolutely worth going back for. So it's good to have that piece in. Although I guess it kind of works against him slightly because you'd kind of wish that was a useless item. You wouldn't have to actually backtrack for it. Yeah, there's our screw attack over on Pizza's side. And certainly not to be forgotten, blowing up the tube, Shalashalska. Forgive me for butchering any of these. But I do appreciate being able to do this. This is a lot of fun, and it's always great to hang out with you guys on Speed Gaming. I do appreciate that. If you like the content that you see, by all means, feel free to give Speed Gaming and its auxiliary channels a follow. Join the Discord. There should be some links that usually get posted about joining the Super Metroid Discord. That covers both standard routing and randomizer, as well as, I think, some ROM hacks they talk about on there. So if Super Metroid interests you, you are welcome to follow us there. But like I said, feel free to give Speed Gaming and those auxiliary channels a follow as well. They certainly appreciate your support. All right, we'll see if Toasty can make it through the attic again. To see where he died last time. I didn't see exactly where, but the attic is always one of the tougher rooms in Super Metroid, so we'll see how he handles it. Shall go in for some suitless Meridia strats. If this is normal logic, there shouldn't be much that's required in suitless Meridia. The logic wouldn't take you there, but that doesn't mean you can't find something powerful that that helps you to get across there. He died trying to recross the pit. Good old spring ball strats right here, really helping out, getting through there. We'll see what this item behind. It's a reserve tank. We can pretty much skip that. We're not trying to collect 100% of these things unless you're... Did Airy die as well? Because I'm looking up at Toasty and seeing new items, and Airy's back down here going and getting wreck ship E-tank. So we're going to see if we can get this continuous wall jump right here. It's a very difficult trick. I haven't even attempted it. The goal is to try and pop off the corner of the missile pack to try and get across the moat. There it is. Props to Pizza for getting that continuous wall jump. Looked really good. So we're going to go see what is at Gravity Suit right now. Shal is still doing the suitless Meridia strats. Probably going to take a look at a couple of items just to see if there's anything they can get that might help them out. It shouldn't be in logic, but that doesn't mean you can't be helped by certain items if you find them. Varia could be over here for all you know. Logic wouldn't dictate it, but Varia can certainly still help you out with some survivability. But it might throw you off the trail a little bit if you end up in Norfair trying to do that. So we'll just see what's over here. Probably trying to see what's in the super missile slot. Maybe trying to get over to the other room on the right-hand side where you can tuck into the ball and go into the super missiles back. So now we have another Fantoon attempt. Pizza 34 is going after Fantoon. So Toasty's coloring is a little different. Did we say we found Varia at Gravity? Is that what's his coloring is a little different, which is, I mean, I like it. It looks really slick, but it also makes it slightly confusing for me to keep up with what was going on. Yeah, I mean, Ron Max for changing colors and stuff like that, not unheard of. In Final Fantasy Randomizer, we've got ROM hacks that change the sprites for the 6 different classes. So I always like to see them because people put a lot of work and a lot of effort, and they really do look good. Always good to give us a little variance there. We're gonna go see what's at X-Ray right now. And it's an energy tank, which is probably a good sight right now as our runners are only going around with 299 hit points. Shell taking a death, probably to death warp back to Meridia, back to the Meridia save point. That was probably a fruitless venture right there. Hoping to get a little lucky, and I don't think it paid off. Trying to get around those sea pirates. So now we've got Airy picking up Varia at Gravity. So now it's just a matter of where's that Gravity suit. I think we're pretty well good on ammunition. We found Wave Beam, we've got Charge Beam, we've got Plasma, and we've got Ice. So those are generally the key components. Maybe one more energy tank, depending on how comfortable our runners feel with Mother Brain. But otherwise, this is pretty close to being good to go here. And there's X-Ray at Spacer. which I think some of the other runners had it. Yeah, Shal's got it, and Pizza's got it as well. So X-ray at Spazer, that's not going to help us at all. Toasty needs to find that wave beam, which we have seen. That's behind Kraid, so, or not Spazer. He needs to find that, which I think we know where it is. Somebody has seen it. I know we've seen it. I just now without a tracker, it's also a little difficult for me to remember. I know we. Wave beam, vanilla high jump boots. That is correct. And I do realize, yeah, the microwave strats. The X-ray is not completely useless. I will agree with you. I don't mean to say that X-ray is a useless. It's not. There's stuff I don't even know how to do that I know exists in the game, like using X-ray to. Oh, and Pizza found the plasma beam, but fell into the pit. Gonna take him a little bit to get back up there, and you get back up there and get that plasma beam, and it will be worth it to go all the way across the moat there. And Toasty's going for the quick kill, the charge beam quick kill, and that's a great looking charge beam quick kill right there. I feel like I should incorporate that because people have been telling me I should. I do the standard missile one, but it is a little tougher. Finds the Spazer, realizes that's not for. Nopes right out of there. So we have Fantoon and Kraid down for Toasty. We have Fantoon down for Pizza. I don't remember if he got over to Kraid or not. I think he did. It was the first thing he did when I first jumped in this. Shal has Kraid down with Spazer there, and Erithea has, I believe, Kraid and Fantoon as well. So we still have Dragon, we still have Ridley to see, but our runners are really close. It's really going to be, I think, come down to energy. Ammunition looks fine. By and large, if you know the standard strategies for beating Mother Brain, you need 15 missiles, 7 super missiles. So after that, it's all about comfort. And so ammunition's fine. We know where all of the wave. We don't technically need the plasma, but everybody knows what the plasma is. We know where wave and ice are. Those are the important items. Here's Pizza going through the attic. Screw attack kind of trivializes this just slightly. But he's cleaning that up there. He's going to go get his Varia suit at Grab. And there's Ares X-Ray at Spazer. Ares really not that far behind in terms of actual steps to get back to where Toasty is. Toasty's going to go look at Ice Beam right now and see what we're looking at, and it is another energy tank. That is also going to be a welcome sight. Maybe that should be enough for the better runners. Runners like me will probably want at least one more. Yeah, Varia was right behind Gravity Suit, so it's a standard find for a lot of these runners, but the big one is Plasma is over at the wreck ship E-Tank, and so 2 of our runners have found it so far. We're going to see if Ares got it. We're going to see if... Pizza got it as well, so 3 of our runners have the Plasma Beam. And Shala going for continued suitless Meridia strats. I'm going to take some notes on this because I've never done it, but if this is sort of the how it's done. And Pizza's going to go get his Varia suit. It's going to be happy with that. It's going to get us into Norfair. And there's Toasty's Wave Beam. Toasty is pretty much in go mode at this point, if I am not wrong, which, I mean, I've been known to be wrong. But ammo looks good. 499 on energy is good. I've watched Toasty's runs. I know Toasty is a good player, so I think he'd feel confident with 499. With plasma and ice and charge should be good. Oh, that's right, gravity suit. Thank you so much. Yes, so we do have that loose gravity suit somewhere. I did forget that one. So one more item. So we've got one last item in our quest for finishing this randomizer. Chat, where do you guys want to see the gravity suit be? Assuming we're normal logic, it's not going to be in lower Norfair. So somewhere around here, perhaps. Is it going to be at speed? Is it going to be back here? Is it in some place we haven't seen yet? Would gravity be? Have we seen Billy Mays yet? There's a bunch of rooms that we probably have not seen yet. It could be. So chat, where do you think that gravity suit is going to be? And here comes Pizza's quest to go across to X-Ray. He'll be rewarded with an energy tank. Well, there's a few things to still check. Yes, we do have Crocomire. We have Speed, Wave. Handful of things that way. It looks like he may be heading for lower Norfair now. And I guess I don't know how you get there. Oh, is he going the... Nope. Yep, he is definitely going down to lower Norfair. There's some wall jumps in there and some interesting techniques that you can do that I have seen, but I'm not 100% familiar with. So this is going to be a treat to watch right here. It's some wall jumps off of these guys. And I really should have an enemy names list really here, but this is always some really good stuff to see. This is not required in the logic, but beating Ridley is certainly required for completing the game, and having enough energy, having your plasma beam, charge beam, those are all things he can just go ahead and beat Ridley and go ahead and do that. That is some nice wall jumping on Toasty's part. I am a big fan. To give you guys a sense of maybe where I stand as your commentator for how skilled I am, I only have an any percent PB of 54.28. And some of you guys are going to say, hey, that's pretty good. But know that that's the only thing I've done aside from a couple of games of Randomizer. So I do still have a lot to learn about this game. We're going to go for the reverse Super Missile Gate first try. And practice that one. I never get that one first try. So he's going to go down to Screw Attack, and we'll see if he takes Gold Chorizo, because there's 2 items in Gold Chorizo's. He'll take the E-Tank. Someone had said, and I didn't see when this was generated, but I saw that someone had said, I think it's normal logic, and I think I've played with normal logic. I'm not 100% sure because I don't participate in the Randomizer weekly. Maybe I should. Hey, and maybe you should too. If this is something that interests you, get on the Super Metroid Discord. Give Speed Gaming, its auxiliary channels, a follow. Give these runners a follow. If you really like Super Metroid content, these runners definitely put out some high caliber Super Metroid runs. And so if that's the sort of thing that you enjoy, by all means, please give these runners a follow because they certainly would appreciate that as well. All right, so Toasty is probably going to make his way down to Ridley. We'll see what's down there. We'll probably get a Fire Fleet check afterwards. Yeah, if we do find Grapple down here, we could see a suitless Meridia from Toasty. That would be pretty awesome. It's not if we're in normal logic, which I wasn't given a list of the rule sets or of the things that we were playing by. Misses the mock ball through the pillar, and I can tell you, I get that one maybe 10% of the time as well. That one's a little difficult for me, as we have sort of a high-fiving going on here between Pizza and Aratheta. Little high-fiving going into the waters of the lava. I call it's the lava spark room, but honestly I couldn't tell you what it's called otherwise. the big lava pit. Toasty now making his way over to Ridley. Did he check the power bombs a shame spot? I missed what he did, if he did, or if he's not, he could check that on his way back. And there's some more high-fiving action, literally going down the elevator at the same time. Maybe Pizza with like maybe a second and a half distance between. And now Shal is trying that continuous wall jump over this. It's very difficult trick. It is a very high-level trick, and if you could do it, you have my applause, because that is something that still eludes me to this day. Trick is almost a requirement if you, or it is almost a requirement if you're doing the new route of any percent. You can do a horizontal bomb jump across, but the preferred, though so close, the preferred method certainly is the continuous wall jump there, which is just so close on that attempt. You have a 2-frame window basically from the time your sprite animation goes over that corner. So Ridley's down, and chat, it looks like I missed it twice in what was behind the power bombs. A shame. Did anybody catch that? I missed that one, as both Pizza and Theta, I'm going to botch that the rest of the night, getting up into this room, heading over to Ridley, making their way to Ridley, and Shal still working on this continuous wall jump. And there's Speed Booster down at Firefly. Not a requirement, but definitely helps you get around in the longer passages. It's a time save, mostly. Also helps with Dragon if you're not going to do the couple of strats, but if a lot of people like the microwave strat with the X-ray, then certainly Speed Booster's not going to be that huge of a deal. If I remember, we do know where Wave Beam is. It is at the high jump boots. Progression hardlock behind continuous wall jump. The Varia suit is at gravity. So there is progression locked behind there, but it's majors and minors, so power bombs of shame is minor. One having a good. Thank you for filling me in on that. It has been a while since I have played a proper randomizer, so it's good to know that he knows and acknowledges that these checks are skippable. He's going to head to Wave Beam right now and see what's over there. What is at the Wave location, we're about to find out. Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, I read that you were looking for Wave, not what was at the Wave location. We're all getting our feet wet tonight. So here comes Wave Beam, and it is an energy tank. Probably one too many for Toasty right there, as he's going to opt to skip that one. We've got Pizza on the Ridley fight. We've got Theta jumping into the Ridley fight now, and Shal is still going for that continuous wall jump. It's definitely an impressive feat when you get it, but there's probably going to be some discussion of whether or not proper content is, or proper progression is gated behind this particular trick, and so it might be something to learn for later. And just maybe try to find somewhere else and figure out where that next bit of progression may or may not be. I certainly would like to see. I'd like to see Gravity in like Billy Mays or something like that. That'd be funny to see. That's one of those like not last checks our runners might do, but certainly we're trying to accomplish two goals. We're trying to find progression, and we're trying to defeat objectives. So these early Ridley dives are definitely okay, not necessarily just because you want to progress via items, but because you know you need this objective down anyway. So anything you find down here is a bonus, because gravity could have been down there, and we know it's not, as Toasty's already gone through this progression. It could have been down there, but it also could have been. We were still looking for that grappling beam or otherwise, as we're going to get a Crocomire look now. A little bit of lockstep between Toasty and Crocomire there. A charged plasma shot does the trick there. Walking in step there. We're going to go check the energy tank. The energy tank is an energy tank. Is this even randomized? So both Pizza and Aratheta getting through that Ridley fight with relative ease there. And it looks like Toasty is storing a spike suit there. We're going to see what he... And so there's speed booster for Pizza. We're about to see Ari get speed boost. Gonna see what's down at grappling beam. So gravity suit is at grapple beam. And there goes the release of the spike suit that Toasty had stored. And that should put Toasty in go mode. He's going to go knock out the shrimp. From there, we'll be on to Golden 4 Mother. Meanwhile, this is a nice little race here. Pizza's got like a 1 room or so lead on Air. So yeah, that's a hot little race here. Toasty seems to be in the lead for our on-stream runners, and I am not in SRL. I literally just jumped into this cold. I do not know how many runners are in this particular category, but I'm certain to guess there are more than 4 that you could see on the screen. So I am only tracking the on-screen runners. I certainly am going to trust that you guys are tracking the off-screen ones. Yeah, so Ari and Pizza are doing their checks for wave. They're the wave beam for both, getting energy tanks, probably half a room distance between them now. This is pretty tight right here. Oh, it does. Does Ari not have the wave beam to go backwards through that? I thought she did. She just gone backwards through there. She's not sure there. Yeah, that looks like wave beam's there. So they've been to high jump, so they all have wave beam. And so the backwards reverse through the gate may not have been a thing. They are literally half a room behind each other. Well, it's probably expanded to a room at this point, but looks like Shell's going for a spring ball, mock ball kind of bounce across there. Interesting technique there. As Toasty's going to make his way to Botwoon, we're going to see how Botwoon handles tonight. So here comes some X-ray microwave Botwoon strats. And down he goes. That was super quick. We found gravity at we found Varia at wreck ship where it would Varia is where gravity is, and gravity is where grappling beam is. So unless grappling beam was, well, I guess it depends, because I mean, if the hell runs are mandatory at least to some extent, then yes, the gate was between the continuous wall jump, or gravity was at grappling beam. And so Varia is required, or at least heavily suggested if you're not doing hell runs, for the loss of energy and everything. And Toasty's trying to store a quick spike suit before he gets started. I am just now learning that trick. It's a nice little fun one if you like that sort of thing. And here comes the microwave onto Dragon, and down he goes. Not even going to check what is at space jump, because he is pretty much donezo and ready to go. So he's going to make his way up the climb and out to G4. So we've got Pizza downing Crockemeyer, sorry. It looks like Aries gone in a little bit of a different direction. They were about half room or a room behind or so. It looks like Aerie has changed directions and is moving somewhere else. We'll see what happens. Was that palette even randomized? If you are referring to Toasties, there are some ROM hacks that allow you to change some of the colors. I don't know if it's random every time, but getting some of these ROM change colors are really cool. It's something that a number of games do. Often makes it a fun and sort of not new, but definitely different experience for not only our runners, but our viewers. So it looks like Aerie might be attempting a suitless Meridia kind of thing. We'll see where she ends up. And so now Pizza's going to get his gravity suit, as it is right here at grappling beam. So yeah, the question ultimately would be, where is that grappling beam? Because there are certain ways in which grappling beam would be in logic that would not require, like it could be, and I'm just going to spout off a couple of names. I'm going to assume we haven't seen them yet, but, well, okay. Billy Mays is 2 minors, so that doesn't count. They did Gauntlet. So chat, help me out here. Where haven't they been that grappling beam could be? The randomizer includes a palette randomizer. Oh, that is really cool. I did not know that. I have not played standard randomizer in a long time. I played one game of the Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer. It took me 7 hours to complete. Waterway. So they have not been to Waterway yet. They have not been to Plasma yet. Waterway... Is Waterway in logic? I know you can charge your beam, or you can charge your Shine Spark up. Well, I guess that would be weird because Speed Booster is in Firefleet, so that would be out. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what the logic actually dictates, because again, I wasn't given a rule set when I sat down in this chair, and so I'm not 100% sure what is considered in logic or out of logic. I know in certain rule sets, they don't ask you to do super hard tricks. But certainly some of these things have been rewarded. The continuous wall jump, getting us to wreck ship, rewarding us with the Varia suit, and then the early Ridley dive without gravity nets us a Ridley death, certainly, but gravity suit being at grapple beam follows that progression along quite a bit. But it's that wreck ship Varia suit that makes things a little interesting for what the logic dictates. And certainly I don't have a problem with sitting down and learning this game some more so I can bring you guys some more proper measured commentary. I do enjoy doing this. I have not done it in quite some time, but I saw a need. I wanted to help out, and so we are all learning and discovering together, and I certainly appreciate you guys. Once again, I will plug the Speed Gaming family of networks. I'll take this time as we're traveling through Torian here with Toasty. Give Speed Gaming as an auxiliary channels a follow if you like this kind of content. There is certainly more where that comes from. Also, feel free to give the runners a follow. If you love Super Metroid and everything it stands for, these runners run Super Metroid and a high quality level of play. And so we certainly appreciate you guys coming and joining us on your Saturday night as we are kind of winding this thing down as Toasty's making his way over to Baby Metroid. We'll see if he gets the baby skip here. This will save you 30 or so seconds, not counting having to go and heal at the station that is up ahead. So here comes the Mama Turtle check for Airy. And a good Botwoon kill there for Pizza. And just getting the baby skip there. Shala is still in the mode. I think it's one of those things where if you just fixate on something so much, you just have to get it done. And the run doesn't matter anymore. And at this point, we just cheer on the efforts to try and get across the moat, and we make the moat that little personal victory. So you know what, Shala, I'm cheering you on. You are going to make it across this moat. So we have Pizza going after Dragon right now. We've got Theta doing a suitless Meridia run. We've got a Zeb skip attempt. It looks like he missed the first one. That Rinka comes off of the little platform there. It has to stay put in order for the Zeb skip to work, as he does get. And here goes a flood of missiles and supers into Mother Brain. And down goes Mother Brain 1. Relative E. 20 plasma beam shots to the head will take out Mother Brain 2. After 16 shots, you guys have so many you have so many interesting names. French fries, the I-beams, onion rings, the blue ones, or whatever color they're going to be on Toasty's screen that come out. Ketchups, little red balls that come out. There's the onion rings there. The meatballs, so the little bouncy things. I don't know where y'all came up with the food analogies, but I love it. So here comes the second. So now we have what is called stand-up glitch here. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I know it's employed if you have more than, I think, 6 energy tanks, and it basically allows you to move during this cutscene, if you will. But in addition to moving, as soon as the Metroid comes over, you can actually start blasting Mother Brain with charge shots, so that gets this fight done just a little faster. And if I remember right, the only real thing about this is you want to make sure the Metroid takes 10 onion ring hits before Mother Brain dies, or else it glitches the encounter. So going for charge shots to the head right here as Mother Brain's doing nothing. She's taking damage through all this. Stand-up glitch is always great to see. I have not practiced 100%, so I don't know how to do it. You don't do it in any percent, and stand-up glitch is a cool speed technique, but it is also not required for randomizers. So, you do not have to know that particular trick to run the randomizer. And in fact, there are certain tricks that you don't have to learn how to do depending on the situation, but certainly if speed is key, then you do want to know them, like Zeb Skip. Zeb Skip is an important one, valuing speed over collecting extra items to get you through, because that is normally a lot of missiles to get through that, and you want to not collect as many items as possible. The goal is to get through this as fast as you can, and so we certainly don't play 100% when it comes to randomizer. Therefore, the minimal strats to get the job done are what matters the most. As we're going to have an escape now for Toasty. We've got Pizza heading to G4. We've got Airy doing suitless Meridia. And Shal is still working on that moat climb. And Toasty misses the, I think he either wants to get shot here or, oh, he's going to bring a Shine Spark into, or the blue suits sort of thing into that room. That's a very interesting trick. I had not seen that before. Canadian Owl coming out in chat. Canadian Owl, were you in this race? No one gave me a... I'm not in SRL. I suppose I probably could have pulled that up, but I am not in there at the moment. I am only tracking the Forerunners here on the screen. Oh, and sort of a backwards spark there, going up the left side instead of the right side. Confounding me. It's always great to watch high-level play. It inspires me to try and get better, to try and practice and try and do these things. But certainly don't feel like there's a barrier of entry per se. There's a little work to do, but I mean, these the community makes all these sorts of things available. As Toasty comes in, 56:40, probably 56:38, hit the timer a little late. He is our first on-stream runner to finish, so get your GGs out in chat for Toasty. First in the stream. I'm not sure if that's second in SRL. Looks like chat's coming in saying it is second in SRL, so grats on that one. But certainly the community is really awesome with the things that they've developed, the practice ROMs they've developed, and the things that allow players to get into the game and start learning how to do some of these things. All of that can be located on the Discord. Feel free to give the Super Metroid Discord a follow, because that is where all of the community stuff happens. We're doing a little farming here on Pizza's side. Not quite the requisite number of super missiles that he liked, so had to go through that room. If you do not kill all of the Metroids in that room, you can respawn the room with full 3 Metroids in there to try your luck again at those drops. So we have no baby skip on Pizza's side. We've got Botwoon. It looks like we're going to get a microwave Botwoon here on the side of Airy. Oh, didn't quite get the job done. One more shot in there. And it looks like Shal is going to check some locations, maybe try and see if he can find something outside of that moat that'll help him get through. All right, so there's the Zeb skip for Pizza's side. And it looks like because of the suitless but has spring ball, we're going to just take the little maze through the Botwoon energy tank. Stay away from that sand. That grappling beam, did I miss where that was? It looks like Airy's the first one to find it. Was that Mamet Turtle? Ooh. so gravity being at Mama Turtle, or sorry, grappling being at Mama Turtle, I guess I'm still learning, I guess, on how the logic works for this. So the logic did require then moat crossing, because we knew that Gravity Suit was at Grapple Beam, and Grapple Beam's at Mama Turtle. So something was a little out. So as I continue to learn what the difficulties of this game are, as I have not played Randomizer in quite some time. All right, so we're gonna have a suitless Dragon fight, probably in the same manner, the X-ray microwave strat. Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Link Force. As I'm watching this is probably a randomizer I wouldn't have been able to complete, just because, yeah, the the suitless stuff did make this difficult. But certainly don't feel like if you're new or at my skill level, you can certainly ratchet down the difficulty just a little bit and get yourself introduced and familiar with how the randomizer for this works. You certainly don't feel like you have to do everything that you have just seen on the screen to enjoy the randomizer experience. Again, it is all on the Super Metroid Discord. And here goes Mother Brain 3 for pizza, as Aerie is attempting the escape from Dragon suitless. This involves a little bit of grapple beam bouncing action off of the electrical spark and off of the wall. Requires a certain level of momentum coming off of that, a specific release. All right, so here's the escape for pizza. All right, so we still have Aerie looking at the Dragon escape right here. There we go. A little bit of push up on the water. And there's a finish for Pizza 34, 103.56. And a great escape by Aerie. And now for some Coliseum escape action without the suit. Stay above the water, and this is pretty easy. Should probably go check and see what's at Plasma. I don't know if we saw that or not. I don't think we did, because we were largely satisfied with we were in go mode when Toasty went through this part. we'll just go back out the way we came with this Botwoon E-Tank maze. And Shala's gonna go check what is at Ice Beam. Low amount of hit points, draining a little bit on this miniature Hell Run. We'll see what happens here, because getting over to ice will stop the hit point loss, and the energy tank will fill to full. I did forget that was there. There is a lot going on here. That will fill you to full, be able to get you out, but unfortunately does not really get you any closer to what you're looking for. So Aries still looking for that gravity suit. We know that gravity suit's at grappling beam. And we got Toasty Muffins in chat. Toasty, GG on your second place finish. First runner to finish on stream. Yeah, Ari was almost in probably about a room behind Pete, but Pete went to Crocomire and Ari went in a different direction. I think ended up trying to see if Suitless Meridia was in the logic, and it turns out it's not. So unfortunately, sometimes you make those gambles, and sometimes they pay off brilliantly. The early wreck ship paid off brilliantly for both Canadian Al and Toasty. Hey Toasty, thank you so much. I literally jumped in the deep end with this. I know probably 20 or 30% of what I need to know to actually do this, but I saw a need, and I just wanted to jump in and help out. And so I appreciate Speed Gaming for giving me this opportunity, and this community for being so great and reaching out. It just different people come through and they say, hey, this person happens to be, I'm a commentator or former commentator for Final Fantasy Randomizer, so I'm very familiar with randomizers in general. And so this is just another extension of randomizers here in the Super Metroid community. So we've got Ari coming out of the water, and we've got Shao still looking around, trying some of these hell runs, trying to see where it ends up getting him. Makes his way over to Crocomire over there at that grappling beam. Grappling beam is where the gravity suit is. Wreck ship is where Varia was. And so a number of our runners did wreck ship early and were rewarded for it. And then certainly that Varia helps you. You don't have to do as many hell runs or otherwise to get down past Crocomire and down into the gravity suit. And so, can somebody get me an official time for the winner? My guess is, so I think Toasty was 50, 46. So the winner was probably in the 49, low 49s, if I remember right, or if I'm guessing correctly as to when Canadian Owl got into the chat, or when they said Canadian Owl had finished in first place. I want to say it's in the low 49s. Oh, 56. Haha. So love being wrong, and wrong by a lot. I don't do numbers very well. So I had switched my numbers around. So 56, 39, 54, 28 for the. And so Pete being the second on stream runner, but the third in the race to finish. So GG to Pete. So we have a gravity-less Torian that is about to happen. That Suitless Meridia helps you get through, and Gravity Suit is certainly only really used for its damage reduction properties. There's not necessarily any major need for Gravity Suit for this section, so making Suitless Meridia a thing has definitely paid off in terms of being able to complete the seed. As we're going to have some powerbomb explosion strats on these Metroids. The only downside to that strat is you only get one item per Metroid if you use the power bombs to kill them, as opposed to the standard freeze and 5 missiles or freeze and a super right there. Ammo otherwise looks good. 35 and 15 is certainly going to be more than enough, even if she doesn't get missiles on all of these. Oh, it looks like she never found regular bombs. That is something that will hurt you if you don't realize power bombs can do this, or if you don't have enough power bombs. And so, yeah, Ari ended up see you, Pete GG, joining us in chat. You and Ari were probably about a room and a half apart for a long time, and then the split off was when you went to Crocomire. She opted for suitless Meridia. And so, unfortunately for her, fortunately for you, your decision was the correct one in getting down to the grappling beam where Gravity Suit was. All right, so now we have a baby sighting on Aries' side as we're going to get this seed wrapped up for her. Question in chat. So without space jump, grapple, or gravity, you have to use speed tricks to get through mode. Not quite. There's two techniques where that helps you get across. Not necessarily speed, though. One of them is at least good running related. Is the continuous wall jump, and you can jump over the moat to where the missile pack is. And if you clear the missile pack platform by all but maybe a couple of pixels or whatever that is, you could touch the end of that and you can actually jump again within a 2-frame window, and you can actually jump across that as if you were wall jumping across that moat. The other one is to do a horizontal bomb jump, which basically requires you to plant 3 bombs specifically, or 4 bombs specifically, allowing you to horizontally launch yourself over there. Is that the actual King of Kong guy, or is that Peter Dinklage's King of Kong guy? Because that's really the one that should be up. So we'll have Zeb skip an attempt, and it looks like Ari gets the Zeb skip on the first try. It's always good. You just want to blow right through that. You don't want to have to worry about anything getting through there. And more than enough ammo. Here comes the flood of missiles to Mother Brain's face and glass area. Not really worried about ammo counts at this point. Only takes 7 supers after you beat the glass, break the glass, I believe. So having more than 7 certainly has been fine. 20 plasma beam shots to Mother Brain's face, and phase 2 goes down. So here comes another suit. I believe this is another suitless Meridia attempt for Shala. I think Shala was here earlier and it didn't work out. And so I think that this run was abandoned, and then the early wreck ship was attempted, but couldn't get across with that continuous wall jump. And here comes some draining, but I think we might still see the stand-up glitch here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see stand-up glitch here for this as well. It's always a good trick to have if you know either 100% or you like adding speed techniques to your run. Stand-up glitch is one that's very interesting to do, as you are able to, you saw from Toasty's run, you could put the charge shots into Mother Brain. Oh, no! And that didn't quite work out for Ari. If I remember right, Ari's last save was back at Wreck Ship, or maybe the regular ship. I thought it was Wreck Ship E-Tank was the last time she saved. But it looks like she's got a ship save. Okay, it looks like a ship save after Meridia. So crisis slightly averted on that. That is going to add a fair bit of time, probably I would say about 8 minutes or so, give or take, to get back there and get back to that point. It could be 8 for me. It could be less for other people. It just I know that it takes me a good bit of time to get from that point. Ari forgot to turn off Varia. Is that part of the trick? I do not know how stand up glitch works. I've seen it done in a number of 100% runners. I think at this point it's a matter of pride. Oh, another fall there by Shala. It's a matter of pride. Trying to do suitless Meridia, trying to do the continuous wall jump. I think if you're struggling with the continuous wall jump, it's probably important to at least know the backup strategy in the horizontal bomb jump, because that way at least you don't have to spend too much time frustrated with that particular trick, and you just employ your backup trick. But the backup trick's not easy either, so lots of practice required for doing some of the harder difficulties. There's certainly regular difficulties for casual people like you or myself. But when you see some great quality action on speed gaming here for Final Fantasy Randomizer, there are a couple of extra skillful tricks that people probably should know. Endless Tundra, that is, I would say, ever so technically not correct, but mostly yes, correct. Because the gravity suit was, or sorry, the grappling beam was at Mama Turtle. So if you could do Mama Turtle, you could then go to Wreck Ship with that. But that still requires at least a portion of Suitless Meridia. Or yes, you could have Hell Run Crocomire. So now we've got Variasuit off for Airy as we attempt to get back to Mother Brain and try that stand-up glitching. And once again, to the facing glass area of Mother Brain was those missiles. Mother Brain down again. 20 more plasma shots to the dome will bring about Baby to rescue her. And hopefully, with stand up glitch this time, we should have a smooth escape. Somebody who is in the SRL, tell me how many runners were running in. This is, I believe, the weekly event for Final Fantasy. Wow, I'm back in my old habits for Super Metroid Randomizer. This is a weekly event that occurs, and so how many runners are running in this one? Because I do only have access to the 4 that I'm watching. Oh, thank you, Elastoid, for posting the entrance. We can see the finishing one in there. So Patoil, GG, 4th place, 1:11:24. So we do not have stand-up glitch on Aries side, airing on the side of caution. That was not an intended. So now Shala's going to go check Mama Turtle. See, this is why ultimately, if you could get through to this part, the suitless runs may not have been required. And I only say may because it's the ideal run to do for speed purposes. If you're a casual runner and you want to run this, just to complete it, then yeah, this is probably the right thing to do. As Shala sees that grapple beam, and realizes that is probably the route to do, and takes one to the face from Mama Turtle. If you were a casual player, you could probably go attempt to get that piece of progression, then go do wreck ship, get your various suits, and continue on. But for speed running, certainly the tricks to know early. How to get to wreck ship early, how to do suitless Meridia, perhaps. I know that helped Ari in this particular case. Doing the hell runs down at Crocomire if you didn't have Varia, whatever that looks like. There are certainly optimal ways of doing things that require a good bit of effort and understanding of how the game works. Ideally, it's the amount of items you can get kind of per minute, if you will, that you can check through to get whatever it is that you need to be in go mode. So Shala knows where that grappling beam is and has opted to continue on to get through. We'll see. No space jump, so that makes some of these runs just a little more difficult. 100 more health. Gonna have to go farm if he gets through this. So close. Oh, and just short. We've got a left side climb. No speed. No, may have missed the shine spark there. I think she does have the speed booster. It was over at Fire. Ari, what is going on? Gravity was at grappling beam. And so you were in near lockstep with Pete. You were in near lockstep and you diverted at Bubble Mountain. And Pete went down to Crocomire and you went into Suitless Meridia. And so that was kind of the defining point between the two runs. But GG on that 1:22:35, the official SRL time. So Shala has made it to Bubble Mountain. Shala's going to check a couple things. Still no space jump, so Bubble Mountain's going to be a little more rough to do. Have to do the standard run across there. Probably a good call if he's going to go save right here. Low on health, you definitely don't want to mess this up. If you end up filling up and going down and doing another hell run, you don't want to mess this up. Go ahead and take that save. That suitless Meridia was a fantastic work of art. That was a wonderful thing to see. I struggled a little bit with the Dragon escape, but other than that, I think a lot of it looked really. So we're going to go check the reserve here, and the reserve over here I think was a standard E-tank if I remember right. Oh, nope, just jumping down there. I think I was going to just attempt to go across. Still doesn't have speed booster. I wonder if that even remotely impacts the high speed that you can get by standard. You shouldn't. This is an any percent trick. You should just be able to run across there and wall jump up to the top where the cack attack is. And so there you go. All of that stuff, all the statistics right there. You can see some of the spoilers on Ari's screen right there with some of the timers. Varia.run should, if I remember right, at least lead you to everything. I think there's going to be a link to a Discord there, as well as links to the randomizer itself. And there's a good bubble mountain climb. So we're going to go see what is its speed and go down and check wave. Oh, but the hell run, you got to like fly through this part. Oh, got to fill up a little bit somewhere. So we are still. I missed where the bombs were because I don't think we. I think the bombs had to have been picked up before I jumped in on this because I jumped in at about the 12-minute mark or so. Yeah, and I think it's time to just do a little bit of farming here, get that energy level up to try and get across the speed booster. There's a little place you could farm up there, up at the top of the next room. The point is you got to make it there, and so we'll see what happens. Okay, bombs were behind the wave lock door in Brinstar. Okay, the pink Brinstar one, yes. Yeah, that's another one that I do that requires a very well placed super missile. And that is a trick I not quite there yet either. But certainly all the information, all the tips and tricks on how to do a lot of these things that you're seeing here tonight are all available on the website or the Discord. Plus, the community is really awesome about getting people plugged in and showing them where they can find more of these resources. By all means, feel free to give these runners a follow. Because if you enjoy Super Metroid, they do put out Super Metroid content for you to consume. By all means, also give Speed Gaming and its auxiliary channels a follow if you like more content like this, but like to see plenty of other games. The Speed Gaming family of networks has a ton of different content for you to browse across, I think, 6 different channels potentially going. So if you like Speed Gaming Networks is where you want to be. I think one of the speed gaming channels did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles marathon today. It was really cool to see some of the games that were being played. Oh, the reserve tank should back him up if he can get over there. As we're doing a little bit of farming here in this hell run, we'd like to assume he's going to head down to Wave Beam and see what's over at Wave Beam. If I remember right, Wave Beam was an energy tank. So at least by the time you get to the end of that run, you should have some more health. Refilling that reserve tank there. 200 in the reserve tank now. A much better sight brought into the room. So wave another reserve. Okay, so we had do we have back to back reserves? Because he got reserve. I think he got another reserve here at the speed boost. So we're gonna make a downward drive down to Crocomire now. Spacer wave through the gates, going backwards through, still continuing this section. I don't think Crocomire himself requires Varia, so getting through there shouldn't be a problem. It's getting to him is going to be the largest issue. Yeah, I am not plugged into the restream itself, so I'm not 100% sure how we get his sound on, but we try and alert the powers that be and see if we can get that. Now, Shala's got to be careful here. 54, I mean, he's still got the 200 in the reserve, so that's all right, but Spazer is certainly not getting through the little balls he spit. And there's the usage of the reserve tank. So now he's a little bit of a safety net's gone there. So uh, got to fight back. Got to get this down. Other side of this, I think, is an energy tank. So be rewarded with some extra energy to continue the climb down to gravity. That's not really a climb, but because we know that gravity is, so my apologies, grappling beam is where our gravity suit is, and so that will probably lead into the next section and get this run completed. And now Crocomire falls through the lava and is dead. It's gonna have to wait for Crocomire's health to come back around. Can't check this far energy tank. Is not gonna make it on account of having 40 energy left. Go get some of that energy and maybe even go check grapple and then come back and check if he feels so inclined. But definitely not gonna make it across right now. Yes, decided not to go check the E tank. It's gonna go check grapple first. Come back and see what's over there. It's not randomized. That is an E tank over on the far side. And you can kind of see on your screen right now the item collection rates to give you a sense of how many items our runners typically get in a given run. Uh, Typical any percent, I think, is 21%, give or take. Obviously, 100% is 100%. This is a nice little happy medium kind of between those. You want as many items that gets you into go mode as you can, but certainly not trying to check for superfluous fluff. You don't need 50 super missiles for the mother brain fight, unless you did not find the charge beam somewhere. So Shala ran out of supers there to go through the back door of the gate. Doesn't have speed booster to properly get up to grapple beam that way. So you have to go backwards through the gate. It's a very specific set of things you have to do to open a left side facing gate. Right now, you can only open the left side facing gates, and it's a specific trick. You have to stand just like if you put your back to the gate and then step out maybe ever so slightly, turn around and jump and move forward and fire your super missile just shy of simultaneously, and you will be able to magically get your super missile into the correct position, which actually triggers the gate. And you can see Shala got that one. Looked like about 10 shots or so. If you're really good, you can get it on one try, but that's one of those tricks that you just sort of feel like you got to get lucky on. At least if you're me. And so now Shala's going down to Crocomire. Now, this is actually something that Shala was one of the ones that did this one first, I think. Everyone else, I think, did early wrecked ship and got the gravity suit and then or got the various suit and then came down and did this. Shala would be the first one on screen to go this way and do Crocomire first, finding the gravity suits, which will help him get through Meridia, and perhaps maybe he would think, uh, that he could get to wreck ship via that way, or at least now he remembers. If he remembers where grappling beam is, Mama's hurdle is going to be a lot easier now. And this is a testament just to the grind right here. Definitely props for the dedication to keep going. Knowing at this point, I think at least five runners have finished. I am not plugged into the SRL for this race. Um, if somebody ats me and wants to sign me up for next week's next Saturday's any%, perhaps I'll have more information at my disposal and maybe be in the chair at the start of the race. But certainly, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share this time with you guys. Link Hero of Time 64, sixth place 136.43. Thank you so much, Elastoid, for keeping me updated. I can open my Hex chat and get into SRL right now. I'm just more fixated on what's going on here. And there's the not randomized energy tank. So if I remember right, in the standard randomizers, the major items, all of your suit upgrades are one pool and all the ammunition's in another pool, and then they are randomized among each other. It's not fully randomized, so you kind of know where the real hot spots are, where the suit upgrades are, and you run and check those. The only difference is, I think, if I remember right, someone said Kraid E Tank was actually well, no, Kraid E Tank is a normal major item. It's the supers to the right of Wreck Ship after Fantoon. That is actually a major item, not a minor item, and I think it was replaced with what? It's a major item in Blue Brinstar, right, or something like that. I can't remember 100%. The high jump E tank. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, if I feel led, maybe I'll plug myself into some randomizers and get a little more comfortable and a little more familiar with how this works. And I should be more knowledgeable in the future. I was literally streaming Super Metroid when someone came and asked me if I would commentate that there was literally nobody in the chair. And I said, well, I'll do it. So certainly I know a thing or two, almost in the literal sense, about Super Metroid. And so I probably will plug in some randomizers here in the near future just to get myself a little more familiar with the content and how it works. And certainly, I appreciate you guys tuning in and giving us your time to watch Shala grind this out. When Shala finishes this, definitely needs props, attaboys, and perhaps even some follows. So feel free to follow all of these runners if you have not done so already, as certainly they produce much more of the content that we know and love. These are the hardworking grinders right here. Speed Gaming and myself included are all the back end work that gets done, but these runners are certainly the bulk of the content. And so you definitely want to give them a follow if you want to see a lot of the work that they do behind the scenes. And so Shell is taking a couple of whacks at the wave beam. I can say I am intimately familiar with the bottom of this pit. It is definitely one of those areas you do not want to get stuck down, as I think Shala has just sort of resigned to dying right there, is that was just not going to get pulled out. 64-bit link. It was at Firefly. Speed Booster was at Firefly. So we've got the gravity suit here for Shala. And we're going to go do these checks over here, which, if I remember right, didn't really amount to much. But really, it's over at that wreck ship. And if you're not keen on the early wreck ship, then probably needs to head back to Mama Turtle and grab that gravity grappling beam. But he's probably hoping something like that is much nearer, like wave beam or otherwise, and may unfortunately be disappointed. Yeah, E tank is definitely a solid find there. It's definitely going to be a further boost, and I think he's going to get another one at wave beam, so that'll be sufficient. So we're going to have some. Still got to get across that bubble mountain though. Gonna get a save in here and then go across that bubble mountain again. Still no high jump, or no? I think I think everybody has high jump. That must have been a really early item. Okay, high jump at Kraid E tank. I should have seen that then because I did watch a couple of Kraid kills here. Might have been more important though, as I wasn't there when the first person did it. And so we're gonna get a look at this wave beam. I think it's either an E tank or a reserve tank. It is an E tank, so that'll be a good refill coming out of. That'll help him finish the hell run, but hopefully, I'm gonna say hopefully, maybe he will or won't have lower Norfair on his mind, because unfortunately that would be a little rough. At least it would be for me. Yeah, so Shallow will not have to worry about the suitless check anymore. But certainly at this point, you got to think you know where grappling beam is. You don't know where space jump is, and I'm not 100% sure if you should feel confident about where you could go from here. Certainly lacking that space jump. If I were him, I guess I'd probably go back to that Mama Turtle tank. So here comes an interesting. I just saw this trick for the first time the other day. You can clip behind those rocks and make your way through there. I just discovered that was a thing the other day, and so that's actually one of those really cool tricks that you don't have to worry about having the speed booster to get back through, taking the short way. Otherwise, you'd have to take the long way back through the lava rising room and backwards through a lot of those other rooms. And Toasty up there with the 4404 Ceres. All right, so we have the not suitless Meridia check. Now, we're pretty confident there's not much here. Mama Turtle will get you that grappling hook that will help you. Um, that will help you get across to wreck ship. But other than the Mama Turtle E-Tank location, I don't remember that there was really a whole lot of value in Meridia itself, other than certainly going and killing Dragon. So that is something that that Shallow will be able to do. And there we go. We've got some music now, some soothing sounds. It's not just me you're listening to, so I'm gonna let this music breathe for a couple of seconds. And it's just shy, trying to do a trying to get to that wall, trying to get to the top of that wall to just do a wall jump off of it. Space jump, we said, was the super's right side in wreck ship. So wreck ship is chock full of goodness. Plasma beam, is space jump, Varia suit. Wreck ship was really the play for this randomizer, this particular seed, I should. And there it is. That's a nice little strat there that, in full discovery, ladies and gentlemen, I actually did not realize that was a thing. So that was a very interesting strat you just saw right there. It basically looks like it exploits the, like where you are in the pause. And I'm imagining for a couple of frames, it thinks you're on the ground, which will allow you to then use your spring ball coming out of a menu. It's a really cool trick. That was really neat, and to be able to get items that are just much higher than you can get. So props to Shella. That was a cool looking trick. All right, so what we're looking at here is, I don't know the technical term, gravity jump, I'm not 100% sure, but if you pause the game, you get a couple of frames or a few frames before the actual menu locks in. So before you do that, you can do a jump animation with your gravity suit, and then if you turn the gravity suit off, it will use the momentum without the resistance, if you will, of jumping in the water. Like the water carries you, quite a good bit of distance, and so turning off the suit after you've already started a jump basically lets you kind of fly in one direction in the water. So that's the one that's sort of a backup strat if you want to get into lower Norfair without the space jump. If you failed the lava spark trick. So it's a nice little trick to know, and it's a nice little trick to have in your arsenal if you are ever intending to run new route or the randomizers with harder logic or otherwise. So here's going to come an interesting trick here. We still don't have the speed booster. It's over at Firefly. He's not been down there, so he's going to ice clip this Metroid, and it requires you to sort of spin jump into that area and angle up or down, which allows you to clip through. I guess it wasn't an angle up or down, it was a jump straight up. That's one I used to be able to do, and then I haven't needed to do it. I forgot how to do it. So without speed booster, you basically just ice clip right there, and that gets you access to Botwoon. Watching out maybe for his health a little bit there. Definitely playing Botwoon a little more cautiously. I want to say it was my very first Super Metroid Randomizer. I did not have Charge Beam going into this room, and I did not kill him with the missiles that I had. And if I remember right, that should soft lock you if you did not have the Charge Beam to be able to kill him and you run out of missiles. So that's bringing back a little bit of a painful memory there that I tried to purge, but sadly it has been brought back. And hopefully what you don't really want to do right there is you don't want to fall into that sand pit. It'll take you into another room if you go too deep into it. And we're seeing Aries backwards maze because we can't use our speed booster. Not that we have it, but we couldn't use speed booster there even if we did. So I guess we could. We had gravity suit. It wasn't suitless Meridia, but there's some interesting quirks not having certain items. So if I remember right, none of the runners checked space jump because at all the points when Dragon was killed, it was largely the last one, and they were in go mode. Aerie just skipped out on gravity entirely. So I don't remember if Aerie checked space jump or not. I'm not 100% sure I remember what was down here. Good refill of those supers there. We'll see how he employs killing the killing of Dragon here. It does not have plasma. Plasma again came out of the wrecked ship. That was a wrecked ship item, and Aerie struggled a little bit with the wrecked ship, the jumps, the continuous wall jump, and so all this is sort of the backwards run of what the other runners have done here. And so seeing some of these strats are just going to be pulled off just a little differently than what you have seen already. So it's going to see what he does here. Oh, it looks like it's electricity off of the wall. Oh, and he didn't get gooped. Oh, you got to get gooped there. You got to get Dragon to pick you up. When he picks you up, you can then fire the grappling beam into the side of the electric wall, and it's an interesting sight. So there's the goop, there's the pickup. Oh, but did not fully get the grab. Gets gooped, gets the grab, doesn't quite grab. So as long as the health holds up, Dragon's going to pick him up and spin, and eventually you're going to be in reach of the top left electricity one, I think. So as those circles get bigger, you can reach the top one, unless you can angle down and grab the bottom one. But gotta reach out to that top one, gonna channel some electricity through. Doesn't quite. Oh, there we go. Probably my favorite strat for beating Dragon. It's not time efficient, but darn it, it looks good. So we may get a plasma. So it's an E-tank at, and Shala's just going to go ahead and grab it just to fill up. So we have an E-tank at space. I don't think we've seen what's at plasma. We might get a plasma check here since it does. It's just requires some wall jumping. Is really largely what it is wall jumping. There's one little thing. I'm not 100% sure if you can wall jump your way out of the plasma room without like speed booster or shine sparking your way, because I know those platforms come out of the wall a little bit, but I've never attempted a space jumpless plasma room. I've done it with, like, because you can get speed booster, you can short charge your way out of there. but not 100% sure if you can just wall jump, if there's a good spot on the wall jump to get up to the platform. So we'll find out if he decides to go plasma. We may see a save before that, just in case it's not over at plasma or whatever progression is over there, and he can't get out with it, or it's not worth it. We might see a save here. I'm just thinking about what I would do, and I'm not thinking about things the way top runners would do it, because I sit in the chair. Those who can do, those who can't commentate. That's what I say. And so we've got Shella heading downwards in the sand pits, taking a different route out. Probably gonna put him closer to the save points. Gonna go down and check I think it's a reserve on this side is the major item. There's one major item on this side, one major, one minor on this side, and I think 2 minor items on the other. Which of the randomizers is this competition using? I'm not 100% sure, as we have an E-tank there. I was not told what the logic for this randomizer is. Someone said normal, but then wrecked ship was, technically the randomizer doesn't account. How do I word this? Some tricks may be required to do it for the sake of getting the item, but as far as I'm aware, the randomizers are not designed for speed gaming in mind per se. Shala probably did the route that most casual people doing this would have played: a hell run to Crocomire, and then over to Mama Turtle E-Tank for grappling beam. But this was largely early wreck ship was the play. So being able to do the continuous wall jump, being able to do the horizontal bomb jump, whatever that looked like for you, was the proper play. And so it does require the hell run to Crocomire or the continuous wall jump. So I think the difficulty was beyond normal. But I don't know what the setting was. I sat in this chair just a little late, so I got here after the start, and so I did not get to see the rule set for the game. So we're going to get a spring ball check here. And the spring ball check just requires ice as well. If you can get up there, there is a ice clip that you can do. Similar to the one you saw earlier going towards Botwoon, there's an ice clip here. If you do it right, you can get through without the need of... Or maybe screw attack will get you through. I can't remember, but there is a... I think you can just wall jump off of that side. If you just wall jump off of that side... Not that they can hear me, but if you get the wall jump off the side, you should be able to get enough height up there. Otherwise, there is an ice clip that you can do to get through this, to get you to spring ball without the actual need for whatever's required, screw attack or otherwise. Oh, just missed it there. Taking my advice, but just missing it. There we go. So here's the clip that's required. You gotta get the little worm onto the platform and then sandwich yourself between it. It's a good use of X-ray right there. It's not, I guess, what I would have attempted, but it's always good to see that. So yeah, in this, at least in this version of the randomizer, there's all of the major suit upgrade items are randomized, and then all of the missile packs and ammunition are randomized in two separate pools, sorted amongst each other, with like a couple of just like one or two exceptions. And so there's a lot of hot spots that people are looking for, and they know about where they want to hit, just to hit the big items and make sure you're not taking too much time going and checking things. Those that ran the early wrecked ship were rewarded, and it's a reserve tank at Spring Ball, unfortunately, for Shala. Wreck Ship was the early play, or early Wreck Ship was the play, as Varia was in the gravity suit slot. Space Jump was at the right side super missile pack, and the plasma beam was at the energy tank, all in the Wreck Ship. So going to Wreck Ship was really the play in this game. And that's what got Canadian Owl in first place, Toasty first place on the stream, second place overall. Pizza, if I remember right, was fourth, and Airy was fifth. Couple of others sprinkled in there. I know Elastoid had posted the SRL earlier in chat. I probably have it if I just scroll up a little ways. Yeah, there we go. Canadian Owl first place, 54.28. Toasty, 56.39. Pizza, 104.01. Petoil, 111.24. And then Aratheta came in fifth. I did not. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Elastoid. I was looking up at the other one. 122.35. You guys see it right there. Link, Hero of Time. Tracy M coming in. So Shala is bringing up the anchor of this run, and don't let this dedication go to waste. We certainly appreciate the grind and the drive to just finish. Sometimes that feels a lot better than just forfeiting when things don't go your way. And so definitely giving props and shout outs to Shala right now for showing this grit and determination. We're going to go have a plasma check right now. We're going to go see what is in there. And because we don't know, but largely it's probably not going to be anything too important. Maybe an energy tank. That's probably what I'm predicting. I'm not 100% sure if we found all four reserves, but with Spring Ball being reserve tank, that is, I think, at least 3 we've seen, or at least 3 that Shala has right now. So we are looking at potentially an E-tank is my guess for what's at Plasma. And so survey says Plasma is an energy tank. Now for the escape is going to show me what happens when you don't have space jump, what happens when you don't have speed booster. Speed booster, you can short charge along the bottom and then allow yourself to escape. So here's to see whether or not we can make this platform. Is there a frame that allows you to get on the other side of the platform here? Oh, that's so close. As he works on that, I will be right back. All right, still at it. I tell you what, Shala is not one to back down. So we'll see if there is there a frame, is there a pixel to jump off of that will get you inside that corner? Because I know this is a place you can soft lock yourself if you are not able to get this jump, if you don't have space jump, if you don't have the speed booster. speed booster would allow you to short charge on the floor and work your way out. But I'm not 100% sure if there's a frame or a spot pixel, what have you, that will give him the edge to get out of there. So, but we have seen, and we see maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We have seen one spring ball jump already. We'll see if he employs another one here. It looks like he's going to. See if we can get the spring ball height here. Mock ball, or not mock ball, sorry. You want to bounce off the wall, go into a ball, turn on your spring ball, pop your way out of here. There it is, the first frame or so, couple frames maybe after you come out of your menu, it looks like the game reads as if you are on the ground, and that would let you then use spring ball to jump. So great use of the spring ball by Shala to get out of some of these holes. And so it looks like we are going to have a reverse wrecked ship run here, which I believe is possible. I don't know if I've ever done it, but I'm sure it's probably common, and everyone else is like, oh yeah, that's just totally a thing. So here we're going to have a reverse, we're going to have a backdoor into the wrecked ship here. So we've got Dragon down, we've got Kraid down, and now we're about to get Fantoon. We're going to make our way to the wreck ship. We'll get Fantoon down for admiring the grit and determination to finish this run out. Oh, you can go. Well, maybe he doesn't feel confident. You can go check that E-tank. It's gonna get you a plasma beam. You probably should do it now before this gets all spiky on you. So now we're going to have all the wreck ship checks here. Probably going to head down to Fantoon. That's a minor item up there where the missile pack usually is. And so it's largely can be skipped at this point. 40 missiles, 25 supers, and 10 power bombs. That's got to be a comfortable amount of ammunition for him. Not quite getting that full Doppler there on the first cycle. Yeah, the timer for Shala is not quite synced right. We are at the 1 hour. Hang on, sorry, not one. We should be. Oh, someone tell me what the timer is we're at. We're not at the 2 hour mark yet. We should be at the 2 hour mark yet. And there we go. Fantune is down for Shala. Yeah, the hour digit over there is not visible on the cropping for the timer, and so I think we are at are we past the 2 hour mark yet? I don't think so. I sat down in the chair late, so I was not here when the race started. And Shala is bringing up the anchor, but certainly it's a great amount of determination to get past this point. I think when Shala goes back and is about to discover all the items, he may be disappointed with himself, but certainly all heart right here. That's what this is. Don't be disappointed. Just finish strong. So this is Space Jump, which, if Space Jumps are for chumps, then I'm the biggest chump I know, so... And I don't even like Space Jump. I think it's weird. So there's that Space Jump. Space Jump will do just about everything, but largely it will get him into lower Norfair without any issues. So right now we just have Ridley to go. The super check, probably looking for more supers, I'd say, but that is a regular missile pack and therefore not worth it. So we still have the checks of he's gonna go check this minor item over here. It is regular missile pack. We still have the E-tank and the gravity suit spots, which they'll find plasma beam and various suit respectively, and so that's two very important items to pick up there. The plasma beam certainly not required by the randomizer to beat Mother Brain, but it helps. So here comes that energy tank check. Gonna be very happy to see plasma beam here. Yeah, one of the important things, especially if you're going to play randomizer of any kind, but definitely the Z3 Super Metro randomizer. I've played one game of that, and it took me 7 hours to beat it. So I think I probably did a little worse than the average first-time finisher. But you have to know the games, at the very least, at 100%. You have to know where all the items are. And in certain versions of, or certain difficulties of the randomizer, you do have to know where all the major items are. That is important, at least to know where your major checks are. You don't have to 100% this game, but you do have to know if you're missing some item, you have to know where those checks are. And so, there is a base, and there's sort of a base level of knowledge there, but all of that information, all of the tips, tricks, guides, everything that you need to know can be found on the Discord. Varia.run, I think, will have all of those items for you, centrally located to where you can get plugged in and good to go if you have an interest at all, remotely, in playing Super Metroid, randomizer, or otherwise. And so we're going to get a check now of the item above bowling alley or whatnot. I'm going to go see what this item is. I believe it was an energy tank, so it's not... Oh, it was the other reserve. So there's our fourth reserve tank right there. And I think somebody else made this check as well. And noped out of it. You need speed booster. That is required to get that item, which is why if you see that it's something of importance, you'd hate to have to come back for it. Thankfully, it's just a reserve and it's not really that big of a deal. Yes, this is Varia.run is the website that has this randomizer. Like I said, it should also contain links to the Discord as well as some other helpful links. Yeah, I just poked over there myself, and there is definitely a good bit of content on that website. I'm seeing if it forwards you to the Discord server, because that's where a lot. Yeah, there's the Varia Randomizer Discord right there. Discord.varia.run. That can help you get plugged in. I think that is separate from the standard. Oh, I see what I did. So it turns out I'm not actually leave the Discord server while I'm talking on it. I'm not 100% sure. Can you guys hear me now? Is everything good? I went to go check out the Varia.run website. They have a link to the separate Varia.run Discord. It is in and of itself separate. It's probably where all the tournaments and all the planning and stuff like that takes place. We do, like I said, we do discuss Randomizer on the standard SRL Discord channel. But I think this is probably the central hub for everything you need to know about randomizers for Super Metroid. So Varia.run, I just went to that website myself. It does contain a large amount of content, not just for the randomizer you're watching, but for all kinds of different versions and variants of the game. So now we've got the Hellway. We're blasting through the Hellway. We're going to get back down to Lower Norfair. Because now we have everything that we need. We've got Varia, we've got Space Jump, we've got that Plasma Beam. Now it's time to go take out the Big Bird, head to Lower Norfair, and finish this run off. All right, so here we go, descending down into Norfair. Like I said, with Space Jump, Lower Norfair's access is going to be free, and so there is going to be no way that they're going to have to do any major tricks or anything to gain access to Lower Norfair. So this should be a fairly straightforward run. Plenty of energy, plenty of ammunition, straightforward end. Grit and grind this out. All heart from Shala for just finishing this out as opposed to forfeiting when things go bad. So definitely is a testament to the heart and soul of a champion. You are a winner to me. So we got some more checks here. Oh, I'm sorry. Haha, I was looking at the wrong screen. That's funny. So we're making our way down to Lower Norfair here. Get down there, take out Ridley, probably do very little, if at all, checks, because we're pretty well in go mode at this point. Varia, Gravity, Plasma Beam is always great. Ice Beam and Charge are vital. And relatively fair enough ammunition, satisfactory. 30 missiles, 40 missiles total, 25 supers. You get full on those, and you really won't have too many troubles down in Zeebs. You still want that Zeb skip, and so that is going to be an important trick to launch, but that is more dependent on the skill level as opposed to the ammo. Just know that that amount of ammo is not going to get the job done when it comes to getting to Mother Brain. That's why the Zeb skip is so important. No speed booster here, so we're gonna have to go through power bombs, the standard. Oh nope, never mind. Leave it to me to be proven wrong. I forget I've been playing any percent so long. I forget you actually get screw attack there and can plow right through it. And runners making fools of commentators since 2000 and what, 10, 12. No, that space jump's there though. Gotta get that space jump up there. There we go. We'll see if he checks anything else, like if he checks Firefly or Ridley Z-Tank. Ridley Z-Tank, I think, was non-consequential. Obviously, he is in go mode, so the only thing we're really going to find at this point is more energy tanks. And then we know that the speed booster's over at Firefly. So if he's looking for the speed booster, then he might continue checking, but you don't need it to pass through the game to certainly get to the end of it. And X-Ray microwaving the space pirate. He had it coming. All right, so we are going to get our last look at Ridley here on stream. As Toasty is, my apologies, Shala is looking for more ammunition, probably looking to top up those supers before the big Ridley fight. I mean, grappling beam does allow you to collect items. It is kind of one of the cool things about being able to kill enemies in one hit with those. You can also collect items. You don't have to move off the little post that he's on, and so you know, it's definitely an efficient way to be able to level in this section. Probably, like me, not totally confident with that amount of hit points on Ridley. And needless to say, I understand that. You want to be full and at like 1,400 hit points before going to... Probably going to make sure that reserve tank is also done. All right, here we go, folks. Our last look at Ridley and how Shala will handle Ridley. And after this is G4, and we wrap this up. 20 shots to the beak schnoz area of Ridley. If you hit just the tail, it does not register a hit. If you hit Ridley off screen, it does not register as a hit. Ridley must be on screen in order for these shots to hit. So just firing in a random direction upward and hoping you're going to get a hit will not get a hit. So you want to make sure you keep Ridley in the frame when you fire your shots. At 20 shots, you are able to let Ridley pick you up, and when Ridley picks you up, that is the end of the match. Otherwise, I think it takes like 23, 25 or so hits of the charged plasma beam in order to just kill him outright. But a lot of times, at 20 hits, he will just try and pick you up in a mad fury, and so it doesn't always interrupt what he's doing, but if he's pogoing like that, he won't stop until he's done. You can end the fight, get him to grapple you at pogo. It's a little tougher than just having him grab you standard. It looks like he's just going to finish him off straight up without the pickup. So got to keep Ridley and the missile in that frame. That is part of the issue there. And here comes the pickup, and the pickup leads to death. Ridley has some extra unaccounted for hit points, but the fight is technically over after 20 plasma beam shots and a pickup. So we're going to go get a check of Ridley E-Tank here. I'm pretty sure we've already seen this one. It is another E-Tank. Is this even randomized? So we have no speed booster here to attempt any tricks. These are just going to be standard bomb blow-ups right here. And then we'll have the climb with the key hunters here. Can't remember which three they are. They have clever names. The next set of three is going to be the Three Musketeers, if I remember right. This one might be Three Amigos. Somebody tell me what the first three key hunters room is called. As the other one, I think, is Three Musketeers. As we do have a check down here, Firefleet, getting that speed booster. It's going to save a little bit of time as we run across some of the platforms and getting back towards the wrecked ship. It's a little too late on this point for the speed booster to have any meaningful impact on this run. But certainly it will be welcome just to feel like you're going to get to the end just that much faster. All right, so far so good on the Norfair escape. Looking pretty good. The screw attack's helping bust through those walls with no problems. We should see the rest of this Norfair escape, and I think like any percent, should be a trip through the left side of Meridia and out, and we'll walk back across the ship down to the Golden Four. And here comes that skip once again. We saw Shala employ this one earlier. That skip. You don't need to do the skip if you don't have the speed booster, but maybe it's just a little bit of swag there just to demonstrate some level of skill. Trying to show off things that I can't do, certainly. So if you're trying to impress me, Shala, you've done a good job. Yeah, I think that was just a demonstration of it was either a demonstration of, or you just get so used to not having those items. I know in the times I've played Super Metroid Randomizer, I don't tend to find the bombs at all. And so not finding the bombs at all means I use power bombs on everything. So once you find the bombs, you still are using power bombs for everything because it's just what you got used to. And tickling the fish right here. That is a new category that is coming out or has come out for Super Metroid and speedrunning. It's called Tickle the Fish. And it's Tickle the Fish RTA. And the goal is to grab the grappling beam and hit the punk fish with the grappling beam. And the current record for it, I think, is in, I want to say the 18-minute mark, but it's probably lowered since. 1820 for Tickle the Fish real time. Getting one save refill, not a bad call because that's definitely a low amount of health. You don't want to cost any ammunition on the run. So just grab the full health, full ammo, get the save, no risk. I mean, every so often saving at the ship's a good thing, right? Especially if, you forget to turn Varisuit off for the stand-up glitch and you die to Rainbow. It's a good reason to have a save at the ship. So here we go. We are on our last pass of Torian. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and joining us on your Saturday night for some Super Metroid Randomizer. While Shala is going through killing Metroids and getting their way down to Mother Brain 1, I want to take this opportunity one more time to thank Speed Gaming for the massive amount of work that they do to put on and host events like these. We certainly appreciate the platform to be able to share the brand and the community, to be able to share our community with others who love Speed Gaming. It is certainly a wonderful and daunting task that they pull off every single day. And so my thanks go out to Speed Gaming for hosting us tonight. If you like what you see, by all means, feel free to give Speed Gaming and the auxiliary channels a follow. And certainly don't be afraid to give these runners a follow as well. If you like the continued amount of Super Metroid work, especially like what Toasty's putting in right now, then certainly feel free to give them a follow. They will certainly continue to provide more great content when they know that they have the support of fans like you. And so finally, I just want to say thanks to the Super Metroid community for allowing me this opportunity to sort of jump in really cold on commentating with a relatively limited amount of knowledge in Super Metroid, to be able to just share my time and talents with you guys. You guys are a wonderful community, and I do love the things that you guys do, especially for newer and more novice players. And so I just appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've got this baby skip thing. We'll see. It doesn't look like the baby skip thing is going to happen on Shala's side. Shala is just grinding that hit points down just a little bit, probably knowing that baby skip's not the cards. Don't blame you. I don't know baby skip myself, but it's a fantastic trick when you can pull it off. And so finally, we're going to hit this last stretch. We're going to hit the energy save station, or the energy and missile station, sorry. Not the missile station itself. They're both in the same room. But we're going to hit this energy station, get a refill, and we are going to take a last look at the Zeb skip and Mother Brain. So I hope you guys have enjoyed your nights. This is last call, and so we certainly hope that you enjoy the remainder of your night. So sit back and let's cheer Shala on. Let's reward and cheer on this grit and grind run that Shala has given us tonight. Trying to get that Zeb skip in there. It's sometimes it's good to just go out and reset. A quick and dirty explanation if you don't know what the Zeb skip is. The Zebatites, the big red pillars in the middle there, are stopping you from getting across to Mother Brain. And you need a ton of missiles in order to get through those. And so in order to save on time from collecting all those missiles, there is a little trick we do called the Zeb skip. And the little circles, little onion rings, are called rinkas, if I remember right. You want to freeze one as soon as it spawns, and that creates a little issue with how the spacing is in there. And so you kind of fool the game into squeezing an object in between where you've planted that Rinka and yourself and the Zebatite itself. And then you, what you do is you do a spin jump out, you get hit, and during your iframes you do a spin jump out and then a regular jump in, and you should be able to actually clip your way through the Zebatite. Depending on what version or what you're running, whether you're running any percent or 100% or otherwise, sometimes, or new route in some cases, I think. Maybe not new. If you don't have wave beam here, I think you need to come from underneath. And so it's definitely a difficult trick to pull off, but certainly with practice and with time, you definitely can get it when you understand just how a lot of these things end up working and putting together. The Zeb skip is one that is probably the most, I'd say it's the most vital to learning anything related to speedrunning Super Metroid, because it is a literal gate. And it's one of those literal gates that you have to get through in order to be able to progress to the end. Unless you're doing 100%, you want to blow it up with missiles or something like that. And there we go. Got the clip through there. You don't have to do it exclusively the way I described it. There are a couple of other ways to do it. But the one that I am the most familiar with certainly is the spin jump out, spin jump, or regular jump in, whatever that looks like. 15 missiles to the face and glass area, and 7 supers get the job done there. We're just going to flood with more supers to break the rest of that because you've got a ton, so why not? And Mother Brain 1 is down for Shala. 20 plasma beam shots to the face. We'll get her to phase 3. We'll see if there's a stand-up glitch, and if not, it's not the end of the world. That is really more of a time save than it is a required trick to learn the randomizer. Oh, Ari making a very good point in chat. It's difficult to do that with screw attack on. The screw attack is something because I only play any percent typically, and you don't get screw attack in any percent. And so, yeah, you do have to turn screw attack off if you want to have a better time doing that. So, thankfully, I think Shaw was full of hit points there. Shaw was in a little bit of trouble with the HP drain, trying to get down under a certain point so that you sort of get through this. You have to be at under 100 hit points, I think, to summon the baby Metroid. And so, having the reserve tanks hurt a little bit there, only in the sake of time. That's just extra hit points and damage you have to take. This is another small reason in terms of speedrunning why you don't see speedrunners get necessarily this many energy tanks when it comes to randomizer. It's nice to have some padding sometimes if you feel like you need a little extra hit points to get through a certain area, but the amount of time it takes to fill that energy can typically be long. That's why stand-up glitch is usually preferred method for speedrunning this particular section here, just because you'd be putting shots into Mother Brain while you would be getting those heals, and that heal does take a good bit of time to do. So here's phase 3, Rainbow Beam, and all of its glory one last time. Let's give it up for Shala here in grinding out, finishing out this run proper, showing the rough early wreck ship plays that it is not the boss. 36 shots to the face in Rainbow Beam. Mother Brain 3 is down. It is time for the escape. Being the last one on stream, the last one. Let's see if we may or may not get an animal save here. I'm kind of indifferent on the animals. They're just kind of there for me. And maybe that means I'm not for the animals because I don't typically save them, but I don't mind when people do. I'm not a monster. I mean, come on. Oh, okay, Ari pointing out chat, the cutscene itself is the same amount of time regardless. That makes sense, because I think if you had less energy tanks, the amount of time you would have to put shots into them during stand-up glitches, it would be lessened, and it's not. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. Getting that behemoth spark, I always like seeing that one. I'm not that brave. I will run all the way to the wall and do a standard spark up, but always seeing the behemoth spark, that is always impressive to see when people don't hit their head on one of the platforms on their way. Because that's me. That's what I would do. So anybody that could do that is officially better than me. And we are getting an animal save right here. That's pure class all the way, knowing that it's like the time doesn't matter. Maybe saving the animals is what's right. Who knows? And there we go. Elastoid's going to have to help me out with the time as I'm not looking at SRL. but that will do it for this episode of the Super Metroid Randomizer Weekly. Get your GGs out in chat for Shala. Huge amount of grinding to overcome and finish that out. Finishing strong, getting the job done. Shala, thank you so much for running that and showing your determination there. 244.40, man. It feels like it was not that long to me. I appreciate being able to sit down in front of you guys and to be able to do this. Let's do this again sometime. I do appreciate it. Thank you one last time, Speed Gaming. Thank you so much, Super Metroid community. I don't have a list up for what's next, but stay tuned to Speed Gaming. You can check their scheduler and everything that is going on down below. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in, taking some of your time out on a Saturday night. And there's Shala in the chat. Hey, Shala, thank you so much for that determination, though, because a lot of people would just forfeit right out of that and just come back another day. But you beat it. And that is probably more than I could say for myself if I had to face the same obstacles. So, I appreciate the runners for putting on a great display tonight. Thanks to Speed Gaming for the platform. Thanks to the community for giving this place life. And I will see you guys on the next mission. Have a good night.